Okay, so item 4 on our flight plan today is how to pursue an A. And this, my friends, is our main focus today. Your sure bet study plan for this class. It actually is pretty easy to get an A in this class if you can follow our plan. So how do you do this? Step 1, consult your to-do list after each class. So you get a new to-do list that starts after each class and continues on until the next class. You completed a prep to-do list in preparation for our first class today. And so week 1 to-do list begins today. So go to modules in Canvas after class today and open your to-do list for week 1. Everything you need to do to complete each task, remember, is linked right there to the item in the to-do list. So just click on the underlined tasks. Make sure you do them in order. Besides our class, most weeks you are assigned an online part, which is like a chapter. Your to-do list may also have other assignments for that week, so be sure to do each item in order. Now, step 2 to getting an A is not taking notes in the online learning part. So when you are doing your online learning only, do not take notes. Instead, take these interspersed online learning points as many times as needed to get 100% before moving on in your reading. Okay? So it's super important to get 100% on these. Everyone in this class is capable of getting 100% on your online learning points, and virtually all students will take our advice and do so because these points are the largest part of your grade. It is also easy to get 100% because you get feedback with the right answers at the end each time you take these interspersed questions. These questions will compose almost half of your practice and real quiz questions word for word. Step 3 is to then only keep studying these interspersed learning point questions and any supplemental materials I give you with that online learning part. Studying anything else from your online learning is a waste of time. These are the only 2 categories you are quizzed from: online learning questions and supplemental materials. Now, where are the supplemental materials again? Do you remember? Now, remember that a bit back here I showed you this example of a typical week? Hey, this is week 4 actually of this class, and if you look down, you will see that where my cursor is, it gives your online learning assignment, and then right underneath it are the supplemental materials. Now, an important note about these, the first supplemental material given there to click on and open is called Most Important Bold Terms. Most important bold terms. And why is this so important? Because your ebook has 40 to 60 bold terms per part, which is again like a chapter. I only quiz you from a bank of 9 of them. So it is super important to open these to see which 9 to study. Also, I sometimes give figures and or other sheets with your online parts under supplemental materials. Okay, now here's the deal. The first half of your proctored quizzes, the online learning half, will be composed of questions randomly chosen from your online learning point questions, word for word, and randomly chosen from your supplemental materials. And that includes those 9 bold terms, right? Now, here's a really important note. The most important bold term quiz questions will always begin with four initials, MIBT, standing for most important bold term. Then there'll be a colon and then the question. That is a clue to you that you can look these up in your print book glossary if you run across one that you don't recall. Okay, so now we just added the last four bullet points to this list of items of how to actually get an A in this class. Step 4. Next, take really good notes in our once a week class sessions. Remember, no notes when you're doing your online learning, but good notes when you come to class. And before class, remove your lecture note outline sheet. It's only one sheet found at the end of your print book for that class session. So take it out of the book, remove it, bring that page to class, and then type your answers or write them on another sheet or sheets of paper, and then staple them together with the questions on top. There's a couple of reasons for that. First off, there's not room on those online notes to write or type what you need to anyway. And two, this is going to help ensure that you don't miss anything important when taking notes. And three, stapling the answers to that top sheet on separate sheets assures that you study in the most effective way possible. And that is called active studying, meaning testing yourself with instant feedback on a separate sheet. It's the best way to learn. The only better way would be flashcards, but I think you'll find that this can work pretty well for you. You can always make flashcards in addition if you want, but at least do this. Now, sometimes you have demos and videos in class, and you're going to want to take a short note, but just one sentence that covers two things. One, a way to bring the demo or video to mind for you, and then also a phrase, what it demonstrated. For instance, here's one, these aren't real demos or videos that I'm going to give you an example of, but just to see how to do this. Here's an example for a demo. The demo where we fed a blindfolded student demonstrated the interaction between taste and smell. Or the video where we viewed unusual elevator behavior demonstrated breaking social norms. So you notice for each one that you're covering two things, right? The demo or the video, clearly identifying it so you can bring that whole video to mind. But in the second one, what does it demonstrate? Also, as it says in this item on your slide, you're going to want to make sure to download your Test Your Learning slides from class that day. They become available right at the end of class at 1:15 p.m. And write the answers from your class notes on the back of them so you can actively test yourself alone on them before your weekly quiz. The rest of the items here are short, but they're just as important. Step 5, take the practice quiz early enough to inform your studying for the real quiz. Okay, if you get an item wrong on the practice quiz, these are randomly drawn from the same test bank questions as the real quiz. So it means you need more studying on that topic. Okay, and if you don't do well on the practice quiz, you know you're going to want to do it again after doing some more studying. So give yourself time to do that, right? And step 6, study for your quizzes as if notes were not allowed. Don't rely on memory. And the reason for that is there simply is only enough time to look up a couple or a few things. And then step 7, the last trick to getting an A. You cannot afford to get behind in this class. So be sure to meet your blue and red deadlines each week on your timeline. Again, they're color coded on your 1-page timeline sheet, right? And deadlines are blue, proctored quizzes are red. Okay, so those are the 7 steps. You might say we have a 7-step program here. Right? But which do you think is the most important of our 7-step program? Easily the most important trick in this class is step 2, to get 100% on everything, all of your work, except for the proctored quizzes. I mean, if you get 100% on them, great, but you can't count on that, right? The rest of it is all in your control. So when I say the rest, I mean your syllabus quiz, your online learning points, that's the biggest part, right? And then labs coming later in this class. All of these are 100% open material and multiple attempts, meaning everyone can get 100%, okay, as long as they put in the time and effort. In other words, these points can be earned by motivation alone. Indeed, virtually all students follow our advice and get 100% on their other work in this class, including their online learning points and their labs and their syllabus quiz and their practice quizzes, of course, just by doing them. In other words, on everything except for the proctored quizzes. Proctored quizzes are different, right? You don't have the same control over them, and you only get one attempt. If you put in a good amount of time and effort preparing, you can get the highest score possible for you. But these points are earned from motivation and ability. So proctored quizzes will vary in this class, the scores, because ability varies. While most all students will get 100% on their other work, proctored quizzes separate the grades in this class. A's, B's, and C's, etc. Right? Okay. However, proctored quizzes, by the way, are 45% of your grade. Your other work is 65%. So if you get a B on your proctored quizzes, but 100% on your other work as advised, you will end up with an A in this class. Likewise, if you get a C on your proctored quizzes, but 100% on your other work as advised, you will get a B in this class, and so on. So clearly, if you did not get 100% on that syllabus quiz, you're going to want to go back and do it again until you do. So this, my friend, is the $1,000,000 trick in this class. In the way that we have over 75% of students in the prior sections of this class getting A's or B's. So our next segment will cover proctored quizzes.